Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is J Abzo. Today, as part of our Python for Granny series, we are going to be talking about number and numbers operation. So stay tuned. Okay, so the last time we did in the episode 2 we did about data types, and today we are talking about numbers and number operation in Python. And a number is simply a mathematical object that is used to count, measure, or label. We count using the integers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We measure using the floating point, that is, we have 1.5, 1.2, 6.9, and a lot. And we also label. Sometimes it's also in a form of a string, an integer that we use to do the labeling. And what are the different types? We have two main types of numbers in Python. Though other languages they might have more, but in Python we categorize them into two. We have the integers, and the integers are simply any non-decimal number is called an integer. That is to say, a number that does not have a decimal attached to it. And other times you say a whole number or counting numbers. So from is okay, whole numbers in this case, because counting numbers exclude zero. So all whole numbers are what we call integers. Whole numbers in mathematics is what we call integers in Python. We have 10, -5,000, 6,000, 1, 2, 0, positive and negative whole numbers. And we have the floating point numbers that includes all the decimal numbers. You can see this as all rational numbers. So that includes the positive, rational and irrational numbers. All of them are decimal numbers, and we consider them as floating point numbers. So any number with a decimal attached to it is a floating point number. For instance, we have 5.0, -69.3765, and we have the operations that we use in Python for these numbers. We have the assignment operators, we have the arithmetic operators, we have the relational and comparison, and we have the logical operators. So let's enter into our Python shell and start coding. So you type ideally. If you don't have the ideally, I have a video which I'll be leaving in the description down below on the first lesson. So first of all, we'll create a variable name age, and we'll assign it to an integer, that is 56. And we can also create another one, age2 is equal to 67. So what we did in the first one was just simply assigning 56 to age, and that's an assignment operator. The equal to sign is an assignment operator. When it's single, we use it to assign values onto variables. It's same thing we did in the second line. And listen, the assignment operators, we have them in different ways. As I've assigned this way, there's also a way of assigning. If I want to add a new value to this 56 and reassign it to that, we have what we call, so I'll type age plus equal to 4, and the age will now be our age is now at 60 instead of 56. So what I did was that when it came here, it added 4 to the age and reassigned it to the age. So that is the same thing as writing age is equal to age plus 4. This age will give us 64. So this code and this line are the same thing, just that Python what makes everything simple for you to write. We also have the same sign in the others. We have the negative, so age minus equal to 4 will make age back to what 60. We have the division sign, you can also attach to it. We have the age divided equal to 4. This will give us what 15, because what it did was that it divided age by 64 by sorry it divided the age, which is 60, by 4, and reassigned it back to age, and that gives us what 15.0. We also have the multiplication. So with this, age multiplied by equal to 4. So what this is doing is what is this is the sign for multiplication, the star sign. So you obtain it when you press shift and 8. When you do this, we know we'll go back to what our 60, because we are multiplying the 15 now by 60. And finally, one of the fourth assignment operator here, we have, though they are more, the age, the exponential raised to the power equal to 2. So for exponentials, we use this one. So when you do this, what it gives you is what the h multiplied by itself, h raised to the power 2, or h squared, and reassigning it to h. So that is just basically the assignment operators. We also have the normal operators, which we know in mathematics, that is the arithmetic operators, which is 5, 6 plus 7, 8 minus 9, 9 divided by 3. We have 56 plus 78 minus 90. Just like the normal operations you can do in what mathematics, that's what you do. So if you can write a full lot length of sentence, so 56 minus 42 plus 78 times 65, and this gives us this. So it just follows all the rules in mathematics, but here it doesn't use the board mass, it uses what bed mass. So wait, that is it for the arithmetic operations. You can do a lot with it. So we'll now move to the third one, which is relational or comparison operations. That is, if you have two values, you want to compare them. This gives us true or false values, that is Boolean answers. So I have 67. I want to compare if the 67, let me use the old ages I had. So age is what 3600, and the age 2 was what 67. So I want to compare whether age 1 and age 2 are equal or not. So what I do is age equal to age 2. It gives us false. What I just did here was, is age equal to age 2, and that gives us what false, because age and age 2 are not equal. And this is another way of writing that. So instead of just writing age equal to h2. Abbreviating h is s2 h2. So s is what you can use to replace this one. So the two equal to sign is used for what? Comparison. We have the second one too, which is less than or greater than. So h is less than greater than h2. It gives us what? True, because h is 3600 and h2 is 67. So obviously h is what? Greater than h2. That's why we are given a positive value. And you can do likewise for the less than. That also gives us what? False. Since h is greater than h2, it cannot be at the same time what? Less than h2. That gives us false. We have the another one, the negation of the s. The negation of this statement is equal to. So whatever statement that is not true, whatever statement that is true, when you use it on it, it gives you what? False. So this one, okay, it's not equal to. So we have the age is not equal to 67. Okay, let me use h2 here so that it will be consistent. So what happens here is I'm asking h is not equal to h2. That is to tell me that I'm just negating this statement. This statement I said, is it equal to? So if this gave us false, this will give us true, since they are not equal. And another way of writing this one is also to write h is not h2. So what this does, the exclamation mark in Python, is what? It negates whatever that you put before it. And that is just it for the operations. You can do a whole lot of comparisons with it using the operators, and they are just like the normal operators we use in mathematics. It's the same thing we have in Python. We have the logical statements or logical operations in Python, and there are three basic logical operators. We have the and, or, not. Those are the three logical operators. So how they work is the same thing as they work in mathematics logic. If you have two statements and one is true and the other is true, if you use an operator against them, the first and the second, it results into what? True. So age age is equal to 3600 and age 2 is equal to 67. In this case, my age and h2, what it gives us is what? True, because age is equal to 3600 and h2 is also equal to what? 67. So since the both statements are true, it results as in what? True. And if I negate, if one of them is not true, so I change this to 62. The first one is true, the second one is not true. If I print it out, it gives us a false, since one of them is not true. It's the same thing as in math, where when one is true and the other is false, and gives us what? False. And if both of them are false, it also results in false. So I can just simply change this one to 1, and it gives us what? False. And both statements are what? Because both statements are not true, so you can use the truth table. It's the same thing, it works the same way in what? In Python. It's the same logic that is used in Python. We also have the or statement. So the or statement, when both statements are true, like this, and use or, it gives us what? True. As far as both statements are true, it gives us true. And in the second case where one is true and the other is false, still it results as in what? True, since there's one of them that is true. So what you are asking is, you just need one of the statements to be true. So as far as one is true, if the other one is false, it doesn't matter, it still gives you what? True. And if in the case, it only results in false in the case whereby the two statements are what? False. So I just add the truth table. I just add it on the screen and you see how what it all works. So I change this to all. So this is the first statement is false, the second statement is also false. So it will result in what? False, since both statements are what? Not true. And basically that is it about operators in Python. When it comes to dealing with numbers, we can use some of these operators on strings list, but it's not all of them that we can use on what? Them. So those are just the basic operators we have in Python. So to recap, we have the assignment operators, which adds a value to the a variable. So this we assign 56 to each and 67 to that. And another way is also the plus n. That gives us what? You add the value onto the what? The age variable. So this adds the value to it and reassigns it. It's the same thing as writing it this way. And that can be done to the four arithmetic operators. We did the basic arithmetic operators, the four of them here. So this, it just works the same thing as it works in mathematics. There is no difference in it. It obeys the same rules. Instead of board mass, it uses the bed mass. So the bed mass is what the universities use, no longer the what? The board mass. We have the relational or comparison, where we have compared two values, and here the s equal to, which is written the same thing as this. We have the less than, the greater than, and the negation, the not equal to, and this is it. We also have it's not. So this statement and that statement gives us the same thing. So the exclamation mark is the same thing as what? Not in Python. It negates whatever statement that you give to it. And we have the comparison, which you have to give it two or more statements that will evaluate for you. So with the n, both statements or all statements have to be true to what? Enable you to get a true answer. With the So as far as one statement is false, everything results in what? False. And with the all statement, you only require one of the statements to be true to obtain a true value. So it's not only equal to that we can use, but in this case I could have also used is greater than 62, and this gives us true because the second statement is what? True. So the compare with the logical statements, you just use it on two mathematical statements, and what? Everything works out. So that is it for this video. I know it's quite long, but I wanted to explain everything to your understanding, all that you need to know about what? Python, numbers, and the operations. So don't forget, if you've not hit on the subscribe button, hit on that subscribe button down there, and there are a whole lot for you to learn from this channel. Thank you.